Do you know what the formula is for this? What is that called? What's the formula? How about this one? Do you know what the formula is for that? What's it called? What's another name for it? Hi, this is Russ Dollinger from Science Glen. Were you able to figure it out? Do you know what those are? This is really fun. Okay, so that's my ionic bond disc model, and it's very useful for things like this. Let's look at this more carefully. So this has got a calcium, and it's got two chlorides, and we can take these off. And look underneath, you see we've got a calcium, and it's got two pluses because it loses two electrons. It's an alkaline earth metal in the second column. Everything in the second column loses two electrons, so it's a charge of 2+. And so when you have ionic compounds, you want to get to 0, and so we can have 1, 2, all the pluses are covered, and this is called calcium chloride, or CaCl2. Twist that around a little bit, make it easier to see. Calcium chloride, CaCl2. If we turn it over, you can see calcium chloride, and it's got the molar masses there as well. Okay, so now the other one, do you know what this one is? So calcium still has two pluses. If we take that apart, here we have the calcium, and it's two pluses, means it's lost two electrons, and carbonate is a carbon and three oxygens grouped together with covalent bonds. The overall charge of that is 2-. Let's look at the flashcards to make it a little easier to see. So here's carbonate. If we turn that over, you can see that it's a carbon with three oxygens, and there's different versions of it in terms of how it arranges, but the overall charge is 2-. And similarly, here's calcium. It loses two electrons, so it gets a charge of 2+. And chloride ion picks up one electron, and it says that's -1. When it's just one, you don't need to put the number, it's just -1. Okay, so that's Cl-. Okay, again, if we look at these, we've got a chloride -1, -1, and -1 is -2. 2+ and -2 adds up to 0. And here we have the two calciums, 2+, and it's got 2 minuses. And so when those combine together, if I can do this with one hand, let me see here. Oh, I'm going to use my other hand. Okay, so now we have calcium carbonate, and it adds up to 0. So both of those, whenever you're making ionic compounds, you always want to get to 0. It has to add up to 0. Whether you're using -1s, two of them, or whether you're using one that's 2- gets to 0. So you always want to get to 0. So using the Ionic Bond Disc Model and the Ion flashcards, which are available from Amazon or scienceglen.com, and the Ionic Bond Disc Model, it's got a patent on it, and it's useful, and it's available. It's in stock right now. So if you want that, let your teacher know about it. It's great. It's going to make your life easier and your teacher's life easier. Thanks so much. I really enjoy doing this. This is fun. Thank you.